Look, before we get into the content, it's really important that you guys hit that subscribe button. We're out here every single day working for y'all, trying to hit y'all with the best content. And what motivates us to keep going is people like you. So hit the subscribe button, join the conversation, join the Deuce Gang.
What he said.
In the last 15 fucking months, COVID could suck a dick.
Aggressive.
These little weird ass government policies and mandates suck a dick.
Yeah.
Stop trying to take our civil liberties away. Feels good to be back outside. We outside for real.
That's what I'm talking. We outside. We outside, nigga. Talk to him.
Right of freedom, right? No human being is supposed to tell you you can't even breathe freely. Fuck your mask. I'm saying. Some of y'all might feel differently, but fuck your mask.
Might feel different.
With a mask on. We can't eat food with a fucking mask on. We can't even see each other smile with a mask on.
First of all, Busta should really be wearing a mask. He's pregnant. Isn't he worried about his unborn child?
Damn, no. I come from a time where before I used to even want to holler at a chick, I used to have to do shit with my face to let her know that I'm into her.
I feel that.
All of that energy gets blocked when your mask is on. Energy is important, and we are all conductors of fucking good energy. We also gotta be clear when a motherfucker trying to give you bad energy. You can tell from only the expression on their face. I want to see your face. Fuck your mask. Hey, yo. I'm sorry I got a little political and shit. I miss my people. We gotta talk. We can party, but we gotta talk. We gotta communicate. We gotta establish new understandings. Fuck that. I ain't going through that shit again. And make sure y'all prepared too. If anything came out of this motherfucker, was a lot of learning. I done learned so much shit in this little time off. Thank you for the one thing that came good out of this fucking shutdown.
Thank you.
I have become more empowered.
Thanks, Bust.
Wow. Wow.
Look, let me just say this. I gotta say this.
Okay.
Anyone who is anti-mask, anyone who is anti-vaccine, on the flip side, anyone who is pro-mask, anyone who is pro-vaccine, I want to know why I should listen to you. What are your credentials? Why should I listen to you? And it's really funny because a lot of the people who are anti-mask, anti-vaccine, what they tend to lean on super hard is, you know, the government. The government is tricking you. The government, let me explain something to you. Okay, cool. Lean on that. Why should I take your advice on the government? What do you know about the government? Scratch that. You're very anti-government for whatever reason. Cool. But what about the things that you participate in with the government? Do you even know anything about that? Where's this plethora of knowledge about the government coming from? So when you're so anti-government and they're taking and do you even know anything about that? Why should I listen to you?
This is
so before you go, this is why when people talk all that shit, I'm like, great. What's your background? Do you know anything about shit? Go ahead.
Listen, you're my brother. I got love for you, but the fact that you just said what you said, man, is highly disappointing. And I'm going to tell you why. If you don't understand, especially with the Black culture, the history that we have with the government and why some people would be distrusting in the government, that's a damn shame, homie, because I'm sure. Hold on. You said your piece.
I'll let you go.
No. You don't get to dismiss it. You don't get to dismiss it. It's as simple as this, man. You go back to what was established by a government back in the days when we were enslaved. Jim Crow laws, We have mass incarceration. We have police brutality. We have multiple things that involve the government in the Black culture that would give us reason to maybe not trust them fully. You know what I mean? And we've had plenty of statements from numerous presidents about how they're going to fix multiple situations, all these things. Systemic racism is going to be, slowly taken out of the thing. Oh, don't worry about mass incarceration. We're going to deal with that. Da 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 da. And listen, nothing's happened. It's been all talk. Nothing major has really happened. So the distrust, and I can only speak for the Black culture because I'm not aware of the other histories. I can only speak for myself. But as far as the distrust in the government and why they wouldn't be so quick to be like, okay, the government's telling me to do this, so I got to do it, is because there's never really been real support from the government for our culture, except for when it's convenient for them. So there you go. You can go ahead and say your piece now.
Great. So you made a lot of valid points. Obviously, I'm aware of these things. I'm not saying trust the police wholeheartedly. I'm not saying trust the government when it comes to, them trying to level the playing field. I'm not saying any of those things.
Right.
I'm talking about the vid. And in case you haven't noticed, it's not just Black people that die from the vid, homie.
Yeah, but where is the information coming from? Where's the information coming from? And I hear what you're saying. Where else can it come from? Where else can it really come from, right? But where is the information coming from?
It's coming from medical scientists
hired by the government. That's the problem.
Okay.
Right. So just like, so when you're hired by the government, it means that you work for the government, which means
great. I got it. I get it. I get it.
I'm just trying to break it down for you.
No, there's nothing. No, there's nothing.
Like you're not keeping up.
No, there's nothing to break down because ultimately, the point that my guy's making over here is because of hundreds of years of being misled, beaten, just shit that you can't even imagine, right? Done to us. Then you bring yourself into the 20th century and you got these politicians lying to our communities for a vote. So because of these things, we should just never trust anything the government says to us. So, I get it. And so basically by that logic, it's say, you know what, man, my dad raised me. This didn't happen, but my dad raised me because my mom was a cheater.
Right.
And then my dad's dad who raised him, his mom was a cheater. So, generations here of women being cheaters. So I just can't trust women because they're all cheaters, right? This is what we're saying. But viewing public, what is your thought?
How do you know? Whoa. You don't get to say that and just cut off the video. That's not what I'm saying. Don't trust the government.
You don't have
at
to
all.
Say it. You don't
it's
have
not
to
what
say
I'm
it.
saying.
Well, yeah, but I'm
just more difficult.
I know, but I'm talking about the vid, and then you went everywhere else.
Because the vid, all the reports that we're getting, the thing that he said were, in case you were listening to what Busta Rhymes said, part of his speech was saying all the government policies and mandates that they're trying to put on us, that they're trying to make us do, the curfews that they're trying to put on us, not mandatory, but mandatory vaccinations if you want to go to certain places or do certain things. He's talking about those. That's what he's talking about. I'm sure you know this. I can't be talking to you and you don't get all of the stuff that's being said and understand where it's coming from. I know this. I know this has to be a troll. So we can move on.
Viewing public again. I would just ask you to. This is why I tell everyone, and I'll apply it to information about the vid. Like when somebody insults you, right? This is a life lesson for you. This is a gem. When somebody insults you, look at where the insult is coming from. Right? Consider the source where the insult is coming from, and then go from there. So the same thing when somebody's trying to give you information about the vid, it could even be information you agree with. Consider the source. Consider where it's coming from is all I'm saying. Let me see your Carfax, homie. What do you actually know about this? Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, social distance, and wear your mask. Don't listen to Busta Rhymes. And first of all, why is he on his feet so long? He's expecting. He should not be on his feet so long. He's expecting.
You are rude. That is a legend. That is a legend.
He is a legend, but he's pregnant. Deuces. All right. Speaking of legends, I love that people can do the most horrendous shit to people and just, well, I guess time heals all wounds, doesn't it? Right? Let's go to the tape. All right.
Yeah. Yo.
I'm in my bag right now, crazy. I got my brother here. Y'all see him, the leader of opposition in Belize, my brother Shine. We'll be getting to that later, but I'm not a hater though. I'm not a hater. I'm a connoisseur of fly shit, and I'm just telling y'all getting tricked by the Richard Mille. The Richard Mille is like a Timex or some shit like that. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all.
Shut up, Diddy. Nobody wants to hear your rant about a watch. You're rich.
Whoa. Why did he start going off about Richard? Why did he start going off about the watches all
He's
of a sudden?
basically saying the watch is garbage. I don't care about that.
But what does that have to do with Shine?
This is what I'm saying. What
Okay.
I'm saying is time apparently heals. Yo, Shine did 10 years in jail. He got deported. Probably, honestly, the best thing that ever happened to him, but still. 10 years in jail for doing what? For holding his team down.
For trying to protect.
The
crew.
Yes. And then they've had conversations in and around that time. It's never really gone the right way. You know, Diddy wanted to make a spectacle of it. Shine didn't want to. This is Shine's words, by the way, and I'm paraphrasing. Diddy wanted to make a spectacle of it, do records and this, that, and the third. Shine was like, I'm not about that. So it never really popped off publicly as one might think it would, because Shine wasn't in the direction that he was trying to go. And here we are, 2021. Shine Poe sitting down with Diddy. I gotta ask, viewing public and especially my guy, you went to jail for 10 years. The person you went to jail for protecting got a different lawyer than you. That's a big deal. How the hell do we have a different lawyer? Diddy went out of his way to make that happen. So he wasn't even helping your situation. I mean, you guys know the story, but is this something you can forgive?
I mean, I heard, I read excerpts from the interview that Shine recently did where he actually spoke about the situation in his own words. And listening to his description of how it went down in his own words, you know, I mean, it sounds like he was the one who ultimately made the decision to do what he did. Yes, it was to protect his crew at the end of the day. Yes, after the fact, you know, things might have been a little fishy, a little dodgy, but he took the blame. He said it himself in the thing. If you guys don't know the interview I'm talking about, pretty much what he said was that he knew the guys that were in the club that night, and they didn't have a problem with Shine. They had a problem with Diddy, right? So they must have approached Diddy, this is in his words, on a ways that made him feel like he was in fear. Shine was in fear for his life, because he knows that these guys, when they say that they bout it, when it's about to happen, it's really about to happen. It's not a joke thing. And he said that he saw somebody reaching for a gun. So him, out of self-defense, boom. And then he said anybody that he saw that looked like they were reaching for a gun got a shot. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, how do you get mad at Diddy for that? How do you carry? I understand how you could hold a grudge because of all the other things that happened afterwards. But ultimately, and I think Shine realized this himself, and a lot of people struggle to come to this conclusion. Ultimately, it was his decision that put him in the spot that he was in.
100%. Nobody made him pull out. Nobody made him buck the shot. But the reason why he did it. So I'm defending you. I'm making sure you're safe. And then when it gets legal, you switch up the lawyers.
Yeah.
I could never respect that. We could be cool. We could be cool. We could be
tough.
cool. I'll see you. I ain't gonna dap you up. You'll get one of these. But you see, like that's 10 years of my life. Again, him getting deported, probably the best thing that happened to him. Obviously, Shine was a wild boy, clearly. So him getting sent to Belize, clearly it was amazing. Look what he's doing, right?
Yeah.
But I could never forgive that.
There's got to be a story behind it. I don't like to give benefit of the doubt on this one, but I'm just gonna assume because Diddy seems like he's a difficult man to deal with, and this could have been the lawyer's decision to just be like, yo, bro, I can't deal with you and with Shine, so I don't want to deal with you no more. And Diddy just had to go get a separate lawyer. I could see that being possible. I could see that being a possible scenario. Did it really happen? Probably not. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think it was malicious. I just don't.
No. You're smarter than that, because the lawyer's job is to defend their client and make sure they get off. If my lawyer is defending me and the shooter, I'm now attached to the shooter. He has to get, you know what I'm saying? The job is a lot harder when I'm attached. Remember with the oh my gosh, you know what? I should.
Well, how could one lawyer actually, because they're being tried as separate cases. There's no way one lawyer would be able to do both cases equally as well. Like somebody would have to be passed off. You know what I'm saying? So that could also be a scenario.
Well, what I'm saying is when you look at the Derek Chauvin case as well, the officers there, remember when they want their trial attached?
They're separate, right?
Same shit. I'm licking off for you, and you're just like, you go over there now.
Let's not forget Shine was guilty as well. So there's also that. So let's not excuse that part. So.
Viewing public, what are your thoughts here? I mean, honestly, is this something that you could look? They say time heals all. This is over 20 years ago. Shine is in a great space. Diddy's getting drunk eating mangoes. Everyone's happy. Could you overlook this? I don't know, man. I don't think I could. But what are your thoughts? Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Look, man.
That's hilarious. I was here I'm just here talking about forgiveness, and I'm like probably the least forgiving person. That's why that was ironic. But anyway. That's neither here nor there.
Well, this podcast is changing you. Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I'm a huge fan of Nirvana, and when I say I'm a huge fan, I mean I like one album. Nevermind. I love that album. It's so good, and we all know the iconic cover, the little baby. You know, with his infant dick.
I know that cover. I do know that cover. I didn't know what it was called, but yeah, I do know that cover. Looks like it's swimming.
Yeah. Well, the baby was swimming, right?
On a white background. Yeah.
So apparently, Nirvana's being sued. Nirvana's being sued by the baby. The baby's grown up now. His name is
the baby, like the rapper.
No, anyways, so well, that was good. That was good.
I'm glad you fed into that. That's good.
Spencer Eldon is the 4-month-old baby who was photographed swimming after a dollar bill in the swimming pool. The image became the Nirvana album's Nevermind cover. He's 30 years old now, and he's taking them to court. He claims that the image constitutes child pornography.
The U.S. definitely does not.
No, the U.S. law typically doesn't categorize non-sexualized photos of infants as child porn. This was reported by BBC. On the other side of the argument, his lawyer claims that the dollar bill in the photo suggests that the minor is like a sex worker. You got to be kidding me. So now, So basically, he's saying that his true identity and legal name are forever tied to the commercial sexual exploitation that he experienced as a minor, which has been distributed and sold worldwide. Now, he's been experiencing this since he was a baby. So allegedly, he suffered and will continue to suffer lifelong damages as a result of the artwork, including extreme and permanent emotional distress, as well as interference with his normal development and educational process, and medical and psychological treatment. Now, he's seeking $150,000 from all of the band members, everyone involved with Kurt Cobain's estate, and the photographer. Now, here's the thing. This is why this is all bullshit. His parents...
Hilarious. After all of that, you feel the need to still explain why all of this is bullshit? No, go ahead. But
his parents were paid $200 to throw their 4-month-old baby into a pool for a half a second. So the parents were paid. So
that's a wrap.
What's happening here?
That's a wrap. Like it was already a wrap a long time ago, because first of all, when he was a baby, guess what? He also was a minor. Guess what minors need? Parental permission. So you're telling me that the parents were not only there, but they were paid? Yeah, this is a wrap. I don't know what lawyer takes this case up. I guess the lawyer's trying to make a name for himself, and he found an idiot to go through with a case that he thinks is gonna work for him. Listen, congratulations, buddy. I don't understand what life trajectory you took, but when I say that this is the biggest reach, this is a Street Fighter Dalsum reach. This is a satellite broadcast reach. This is a little Uzi buying a planet thinking that he's ever gonna see it reach. This is on a level that I have never heard before. You should play basketball because your reach is something that they need in the NBA as well. You are attempting to do something that has never been heard before. And we have recently spoke about billionaires being like mesmerized with just going to space. We've spoken about some pretty dumb stuff on this thing. And you, my friend, have managed to top even that. So congratulations on that. I don't know what's going to become of you from this. I hope you enjoy your 15 minutes of fame. That's probably what it's for.
But at
the expense of Nirvana? What?
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. Let me ask you a question.
That's what that has to be.
Let me ask you a question. If
Somebody wrote an article.
Listen, if I took out 3 pictures of a 4-month-old baby and one of them was me, and I showed it to you, my guy, and I said, point me out, you couldn't do it. So his case, apart from his parents being paid, falls flat on his face. He's saying he was traumatized for his entire... Him coming out and telling people that this was him, he's inflicting the trauma on himself. If you look at the picture of him today versus him as a 4-month-old baby, like every other person in the world, they look nothing alike.
That is such a good point. That is such a good point.
Idiot. Oh my gosh. Could y'all leave the legends, the legacy of Nirvana alone? And if you haven't, go check out that Nevermind album. Even if you are a staunch hip hop, reggae, never listen to rock and roll in your life person, you will love this album.
Hey, and on top of that, I don't know about you, but I know there are multiple Black families who will put their child through that session, that photo session, where they have them do ridiculous poses, or they might wear a silly hat, or they might pose beside, a stuffed animal that they know nothing about, but it came with the photographer. You know those photo shoots that I'm talking about?
I am aware. I've been in them.
Were you fully clothed? Because
that information is redacted. But
okay, well, I know me personally, I was in diapers.
All right,
that was it.
Go.
So, Mom, Dad, shame.
You got a lawsuit on your hands. Viewing public.
I'm coming.
Honestly, we cannot be the only people, including the lawyer. His reputation, his representation, I'm sure even agrees with us that this is just silly. 100% silly. Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Look, Lil Nas X, we've spoken about him.
And I keep saying that I don't want to speak about him anymore. And you keep finding stories about this guy somehow. I don't get it.
Well, look, if you like Tony Hawk, Tony Hawk's a famous skater. Tony Hawk is putting out a new line of boards where he's, injecting his own blood into the design.
Right. Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, so Lil Nas X tweets, now that Tony Hawk has released skateboards with his blood painted on them and there was no public outrage, are you ready to admit y'all were never actually upset over the blood in the shoes? And maybe you were mad for some other reason. So, Safari, of all people, I never thought Safari would actually be the voice of reason. Again, the guy.
Oh, he's whoa. He was the voice of what? Reason?
Reason somehow.
That is not where I saw that going.
No.
Okay.
So he comments and he says, bro, it's not the blood. It's the whole 666 and trying to associate with the devil with it. We don't need to act like we out here worshiping the devil. Let's leave that to the KKK. Now, the KKK part's a little bit of a stretch, but his point is, and you may be, you may be atheist. You may not believe in God, and that's all good. But you don't really see a lot of niggas running around talking about Satan and all. I'm not even going to say it. You just don't see it. That's not what
unless they're Satanists.
there's that side. But even then, you don't really see niggas running around like we just
Goths.
don't see it. Even
Yeah.
then, we just don't. I'm not saying they don't.
It's really not. It's not. Once again, this is not something that's part of the Black culture. It's definitely not part of the Black culture, the Satanism, the goth thing. So of course it's gonna take. We're just raised that way. We're just raised that way.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
That's all it is. We're just raised that way. That's all it is. Everybody's raised different.
Now let me ask you a question, and then we could bring this to an end because I know how much you love talking about Lil Nas X. If it was just the blood, would there be an issue?
Absolutely not. I don't care. In fact, Lil Nas X could use more of his blood. You know what? Let me not finish that sentence.
Yeah,
let me not finish that sentence.
Let's not do that.
If he doesn't understand the real reason why people, how disconnected. He's Black. He's Black. How disconnected do you have to be, or how much of a puppet do you have to be to not understand why people would be upset with a shoe based on Satan? It has nothing to do with the blood. That's like saying, oh, y'all don't like the color red. It had nothing to do with the color either, bro. They were satanic shoes. There was the 666 on it. And for a lot of cultures, those things symbolize evil, not good.
Doesn't even have to be Black, just period. Yes.
That's it. That's why I took it off of Black people. It's just for people. It symbolizes that. So, you know what I'm saying? Even people who worship Satan, guess what that symbolizes? Evil. They praise it. That's what their whole culture's about. So, bro, you gotta, man, you know what? Move on.
All right,
because I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say something.
Well, you almost said it about the blood.
I was about to, man.
Viewing public, what are your thoughts on this? If it was just the blood, would you have had an issue? Remove all the satanic imagery. Do we still have a problem? Keep all the gay stuff, all of it, but just remove the satanic imagery. Do we still have a problem?
And if you want to hear my real opinion of Lil Nas X, leave it in the comments, and I promise you, I will do an in-depth. We will do. Sorry, I am taking this to heart. We will do an in-depth video about this guy for real, because y'all cannot be falling for all of this stuff.
Doses. I'm on my Twitter earlier today, and I still can't. It's hard. All right. I just can't believe niggas are still falling for. Okay, Rachel Nichols.
Okay.
You know she gone now, right? Jump is done. The jump.
I just yo. It's funny because I came off of work and I'm just randomly scrolling through. And I see a bunch of Rachel Nichols posted memes, and I'm like, oh my God, did she say something else stupid again? Like, I can't believe she did it. And then I heard that she actually got, her show got canceled.
Gone. Like, she's removed.
She's not even allowed to host the last few episodes. Like,
gone.
Wow.
Now,
I cannot. Wow.
Now, I think it's important that you know. I mean, she knows how to play the game. At the end of the day, so blah 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 blah. What did she say? So all right, so she did have a statement here, and she said, got to create a whole show and spend 5 years hanging out with some of my favorite people, talking about one of my favorite things, basketball. An eternal thank you to our amazing producers and crew. The jump was never built to last forever, but it sure was fun.
Yeah, because when you build something, you never build it to last forever. Why? Yeah, you build stuff to break down.
So let's hear ESPN statement. We mutually agreed that this approach regarding our NBA coverage was best for all concerned, said ESPN. Senior VP Rachel is an excellent reporter, host, and journalist, and we thank her for her many contributions to our NBA content.
Bro, if that's not the stereotypical HR speech, I've been fired a few times. Surprise, guys. I've been fired from a few jobs. And typically when they sit you down, the first thing they say is, well, listen, you do a great job here, man. And we love what you do. But unfortunately, we just feel at this time that we are moving in a different direction from where you're moving. You know what I mean? So we feel at this time it's best for both of us, both sides, to just part ways, because we believe that you are destined for greater things.
Ah,
And what we don't want to do is where we're headed. We just don't believe that it matches up with that. So we wish you the best. Honestly, we loved having you here. Your employees, our coworkers, they all loved you. Have a great day. Oh, by the way, don't come in for your paycheck. We're gonna mail it to
you. It's funny because that's what this is, and you and I know when those meetings occur, the person who's getting fired and the person doing the firing, these niggas do not like each other at all. And this is what's going on with the homegirl at ESPN. She got drugged for what? We're not going to go through it in depth. We already did it. It's right here.
That's why we leave links in the video.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, like, if I'm Rachel, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to nig out.
Yeah, if you're Rachel, you take this. Yeah, you're right. Rachel, grab you a bowl of alphagetti.
Yes.
And swallow all of the L's.
Yo, I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm not like, okay, would you? Okay, again, that's what I'm saying. Like, she's playing it smart. Obviously, she wants to look for other journalistic opportunities elsewhere. So she can't be like, fuck you guys, you know what I mean? But that would be out. Yo, I would crash immediately. Immediately, I would crash.
I want to move on, but I'm just disappointed that you didn't acknowledge how great my Alphagetti's line was. That was a bar, bro. And swallow all the. All right, man. Whatever, bro. I just wanted a little.
Doing public. No. What are your thoughts? Did you catch the bar? Am I missing it? Am I late? But more important, like, they did that girl dirty, man. If you feel otherwise, if you feel the opposite, leave it in the comments. Please be respectful. Again, we don't delete comments. It's YouTube. But nigga, we were having a conversation on YouTube earlier. He's like, why are you deleting my? I'm like, I'm not doing anything. I'm actually talking to you in real time.
I need to know how many people are messaging you this, because it must be. I see them. They come up on. Listen, YouTube. This is what YouTube needs to do. Just don't notify us. Stop sending us the notifications of comments that are not actually posted. So we can't respond.
Exactly. It's annoying.
Yeah. So there you go.
You were saying.
I was just like, when it comes to Rachel Nichols and everything like that, I was really done. All I was really going to say is, like, I said it before, she's a great reporter, for real. All jokes aside, she probably has tons of jobs lined up other than this one. I'm not really worried about her. So, whatever she has upcoming next, I'm going to watch it personally, because I didn't take the comments that she said to heart. You can go watch the video. I don't know where the link's going to be, but you can go watch the video, and please watch it first before you come at me to understand why I'm not mad at her. Don't just come at me because I said it. Thank you.
All right, man. Listen, one thing that I've been watching a lot lately, and I'm not ashamed to admit it, is Clubhouse. There's a lot of drama on Clubhouse. It's that app where these celebrities go on there and they talk.
Oh yeah,
shit.
Okay, yeah.
Whack 100 has been on there with Tekashi 6ix9ine, and it's been a huge cluster of effery, and I've been enjoying every single moment of it. But he brought Tekashi on there, and that's what kind of started the whole thing. And Tekashi, as we all know, he's a snitch, he's a rat, but he's still a millionaire. He's still doing his thing,
right?
And this Clubhouse and Tekashi moving around, I believe, stemmed our homies at the We Love Hip Hop podcast. Shout out Herc, shout out Friday, shout out Guts. To have a conversation, Gucci, of course, to have a conversation about Mayhem Moriarty. Right?
Oh,
so, yeah.
Whoa.
Well, Solitaire was on their show, and they spent like 10 minutes diving into the whole Black Jays thing. So, long story short, according to them, there's no interview booked, but they are thinking, or at least having a conversation around possibly doing an interview with Mayhem.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of people are against it because, well, we all know the Mayhem story, or at least the surface level stuff, right? He snitched basically. And by the way, one thing, if you guys haven't seen it, go see Some Sort of Judas. It's a Mayhem Moriarty documentary. It happened after the court case and everything. Really, really good. But anyways, they're having a conversation like, should we do it? We're media, but people might look at us a ways. But why are you looking at us a ways? We're not in the streets. We're not a part of that. Why can't we just interview the man?
Right.
I will ask you, before you speak to the homies at the We Love Hip Hop podcast.
Okay.
Would you interview Mayhem Moriarty? And if so, why? And if not, why not?
Absolutely.
Why?
Absolutely. I would interview him because regardless of what he's done in his personal life for whatever reasons he has, his music, his impact on the city, it can't be denied. Anybody who knows his name for real knows what he was before Drake was Drake, or when Drake was early buzzing. Before that there was Mayhem. I'll just put it that way. You know what I mean? And while I do come from the quote unquote street life and that lifestyle and that background, and that what we're doing is not the streets. I'm not in the hood right now. Right now, it's two guys having a conversation because we know that there's people that want to hear about these conversations. As much as there's people in the streets that don't want to hear about it, there's people that do, or people that don't want to hear about it don't have to be in the streets. We know that there's people that do want to hear about it and that do benefit. So that's why we talk about the things we talk about. I know for me personally, that's why I do it.
Okay. And what are your thoughts on snitching?
Well, you know how I feel about snitching, man.
Well, just for the sake of the video, what are your thoughts on snitching?
I'm not for it, long story short. We're not going to make that a long answer.
So what I'm saying is, I believe as a media personality, you should be able to interview whoever you want, as long as you still remain grounded, you still stand for whatever it is you stand for. Case in point, homies over there at the We Love Hip Hop podcast, I think if anybody should interview Mayhem Moriarty about music, it should definitely, you guys are the Toronto podcast. It should definitely be you guys. However, if you're going to go into his background, his story, the snitching, if you guys do not believe in snitching, if you guys think it's wrong, I think you should keep that energy, respectfully, of course. Because, by the way, let me say this. Just because somebody's a snitch, that doesn't give you the right to call them a snitch. Just because somebody's a snitch doesn't mean they can't do shit to you and hurt you. A snitch doesn't make them a frail individual. It just means they snitched. So just because somebody's a snitch, that doesn't give you the right to call them a snitch. You might get fucked up like that. But to the point, hip hop, We Love Hip Hop podcast. If you guys do interview him, which I think you guys should, honestly, and based on how you feel about snitching, if you're going to have that conversation, I just think your approach respectfully should be in that line of questioning. Like, if I'm not for it, I will let you know that right away in our conversation. And my questions are going to more or less dictate the conversation. And you're going to feel that. I'm not going to shy away from it. I'm not going to pretend like it was okay. You understand what I'm saying? So if the interview does happen, which I think will be big, I think it's because I don't even think a lot of people seen that documentary. Again, Some Sort of Judas. I don't think a lot of people seen that documentary. So I think that this interview will certainly answer a lot of questions. So I think they should do it.
I'm not even gonna make this long. I'm just gonna talk directly to them. So Friday, Guts, Gooch, Basmati, whoever ends up doing this interview,
if it happens,
if it happens, right, I'm gonna tell it to you straight like this. All those same people who saying that you shouldn't do it because he's a snitch, because of this, because of that, those gonna be the same people watching your video when it comes out. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say to you. That's all you need to hear. And if at the end of the day, like this guy said, you can finish that interview and at the end of it, you still have your integrity. You feel like you didn't break any of your own moral codes, because remember, you're a podcast. You guys ain't the streets. And people, if they don't understand that, it's not your job to explain it to them. Your job is to provide the good content that you continue to provide. And that's it. If people hate on it, guess what? We get the negative comments too. And it's not going to stop. There's always going to be somebody hating on you, but you know what they can never hate on? Growth, progress, and success. All right, so I'll leave with those.
Viewing public, what are your thoughts, man? I will put the link to the We Love Hip Hop podcast, like their conversation about possibly interviewing him. So you guys can check that out as well. Leave in the comments, should they do it? Should they not? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Adeuces. Keeping it local though. Oh boy. So I don't know if you've heard of a Scarborough rapper named El Plaga. All right, I'll take that as a no. So, Scarborough rapper charged in Fort Erie shooting that left 2 young women dead. Police previously released video surveillance images of a party in an attempt to identify some of the unknown guests who attended the gathering. Earlier this year, a $100,000 reward was also offered for information leading to the arrests of the perpetrator. Now, El Plaga, he's facing
some important people wow.
Yeah, he's facing 2 counts of first-degree murder and will appear in a video bail hearing in St. Catharines. The video bail hearing actually happened today. Today's Thursday. Now, I don't like getting into Toronto polys. You know this. I don't even like mentioning rappers' names, right? Especially when it's about the polys. But I feel like this is PSA, right? I feel like this is a PSA.
What? Okay. Why do you feel that? You got to explain that.
Well, I mean, we've said it 100 times, and I feel like we're going to always say it forever and forever. These very talented rappers from our city, so good at drawing attention. The music, not my cup of tea, right? But as far as garnering attention, and we really know that's what it's about in 2021, it's about the clout. Get the clout, right. You get the streams, you're good. And he was great at that. So he had a real opportunity to switch up his life. You understand what I'm saying? And here we are. He's facing 2 first-degree murder charges. I wasn't there. I don't know how real this is. He might get off, and this just might be something he can use in his songs. Who knows? Right? But what I'm saying is, why put yourself in these positions? The other day we were talking, you made a joke. Let's come down to Malvern, man. Just come kick it with me. It's safe. Let me tell you something, all right? Let me just be honest. let me just be honest with you for a second, and I won't.
Be very careful. Be very careful with your words.
And I won't drag it out, all right? But look, at the end of the day, I'm not worried, man. Like Malvern, I've been to Malvern Mall 1 billion times. It's not about that. But what it's about is you get to a certain space in your life where you just say, I want to kick it with the homie. I think I've seen him once since we've been doing this podcast. But if I'm going to go kick it with him, should we go kick it and just do nothing? Or should we go kick it and be productive? I always go for the latter. When I chill with my friends today in the space that I'm in, I don't chill to relax. I chill to work. Work is my chill. So when a man says, hey, let's go to Malvern Mall, I'm not just using to go chill. I'm like, okay, are we going to Malvern Mall to shoot content? Are we going to Malvern Mall to, you understand what I'm saying? I'm with that. This way, if the worst happens, cool. It was worth it. But I'm not trying to go to the block just to kick it and waste hours of my day. Not when there's money to be made, content to create, life to live. I'm not for it. There was a time when I was, but not at this age. Not at this age. What are your
honestly, me, I got 2 takes on this, but I need to know where was the article? What was the newspaper that put the title?
This is CP24.
CP, so City TV. City TV?
Yeah.
Okay. So now I have 2 takes. The first one is for the artist himself. And I mean, you touched on most of the things that I will say, so that leaves my answer very, very short and brief. It's as simple as this. You rappers, young rappers, old rappers, any rapper, anybody aspiring to be anything great, stop looking at your career as in just the next year, the next 2 years, and start looking at 5 years and 10 years. Facts. Because when you start looking at it more long-term, as opposed to what I'm just going to do this year, you know what I mean? I'm just going to drop this single. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do, because I understand a lot of you have busy schedules in your year and stuff like that. But when you limit yourself to this, that's when you open yourself up to dumb shit like that, because you're not thinking, oh shit, in year 8, I'm supposed to have this already.
Right.
And if I do this, I'll mess that up because I know year 4 is setting up for year 8.
Thank you.
You understand?
Thank you.
So start thinking long term. Okay, that's first. My second take is for City TV. City TV and this goes for news media in general, stop associating everything violent with rap music. There is no reason, not one reason you had to put Scarborough rapper in your headline. There's not one reason. Nobody's ever heard of El Plaga, and that's why I made that face.
Well,
he's not a big rapper. You've heard of him?
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's nice. That's really cool.
I heard his
Nobody's
music.
ever heard of this guy. Okay. So he's not big enough to the point where we need to be putting that he's associated with rap music. Second of all, his rap career had nothing to do with what he did in Fort Erie. So I don't understand why you feel that's important or why news media feel the need to continue to do this. It's the Biggie, Tupac, East Coast versus West Coast thing all over again, where the media finds something where they can perpetuate emotion from both sides, from the people involved, color, and the people outside, non-color. Because no matter which side you're on, you're gonna feel emotional about this because one way or another, people have their opinions of Toronto rappers.
That's a fact.
So now we're gonna touch on it. Now we're gonna play with your emotions. Stop it. I'm done with it. I'm done. And I'm gonna continue to make the music that I make to prove to the people out there that there is rap music that you can listen to that has some kind of outside from the polys in the streets. And I encourage all rappers that are making music about the streets and whatever I understand that's your life. I get it. Guess what? I lived it too, man. And I know it's hard to believe. I tell a lot of people they don't believe me because they see me now and they're like, Dre, you don't look like you come from that life. And then they see me get pissed off. And then they understand. And then they see that nobody just comes up to me and really fucks with me for no reason. And then they understand. I understand how to move and maneuver. But I also understand how to disassociate myself from something that I keep telling myself I don't like. I don't understand how Toronto rappers keep telling themselves they want to get out of this. They don't like it. It's da-da-da, but you keep making the music. The blogs say that they hate this shit. Oh man, the way people look at Toronto rappers is, but you keep reporting on the shit. So look at the source, change the source, and then move from there. Thank you very much. That is my TED Talk.
Viewing public, man. And really, when I say viewing public, I'm talking to rappers, especially if you got 1 foot in the streets and 1 foot in the booth. To your point, that's your life. But I'm just saying, you made a great point. Have that 8-year plan, 5-year plan, and think to yourself, if I go do this, is that going to affect my year 2 and 3 and so on and so forth? And just make better decisions. This situation where he was at this party in Fort Erie, maybe there was a bag there. Okay, you're a rapper. You go get your bag, you do your performance. I get it. That's what I was saying to you. If I got to go to Malvern Mall to go work, to create content, and the worst was to happen, cool. Yeah. But at least I wasn't there doing nothing.
Right.
And the worst happened. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I say it's the PSA, man. Make your decisions. It's when you go, it's not just you're impacting. There's your family, there's your friends. If you got kids, there's your kids, and the list goes on and on and on. Now I'm done. Viewing public, what are your thoughts? Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Deuces. I know of all rappers. I know you know this rapper. I know you know Fat Joe. Now, Fat Joe, the Don Cartagena, if you let him tell the story, he really came from the streets. And that might be as true as the sky is blue on a summer day.
Okay, Grandpa. Thank you for that.
But Cuban Link says Fat Joe broke
Who?
The Cuban Link. Yeah. Cuban Link says Fat Joe broke one of the main rules of the streets, which is you don't snitch. So according to Cuban Link, Fat Joe exposed on snitching charges. Now, Cuban Link wrote, big shout out to Star for reporting the truth and keeping it 100% across the board. Now,
of course, Star's involved. Of course, Star is involved. Jesus.
Now, you might not understand why I couldn't get along with that animal, but I guess let's wait for the authenticity of this here paperwork. But like I said, I'm just going to sit back and watch the pale beluga whale get brought into shore by the rest of the fishermen. Now, according to the alleged proof, it's actual paperwork, but It could be fake, so alleged.
Mhm.
According
Okay.
to the alleged paperwork, Fat Joe admitted to his crack selling crimes, while also providing them with information on other gang members and their murders. Now, Fat Joe responded and said, when the hate don't work, they start telling lies. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Look, if we believe, right? If we believe
Okay.
that
Okay.
Fat Joe did all the stuff that he did, right?
Okay. Like
If
in his songs, what he says he does.
Yeah, selling crack.
Okay.
Da, 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 da.
Right.
If we believe Jay-Z did all the things that he did, da, 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 da,
Right. Right.
Of course, there's a statute of limitation. Of course, there is. There is, right? So certain shit you could talk about after. But what I'm saying though, unless because the reason why people don't want to go in the streets is because you either die or go to jail. Now, Jay-Z, Fat Joe, and countless others, Jeezy, whoever you want to name, are they really that less than 1% that made it out? They didn't die or go to jail?
Yeah.
And if they are, hold on, no. If they are, and we know the percentage is so small, do you think that does lend some credence to the possibility of snitching?
I forgot what the first question was because
funny guy.
Because the second question was really
well, I mean, it's the same thing, right? Like
no. Listen, it's extremely rare, first of all, to be in that lifestyle and make it out. Because let me use Lil Baby as an example. Like because that's not a more well known, but that's a well known story that, well, it is for some people, that Thug actually had to pay Lil Baby to come out the streets because Lil Baby was so addicted to that life of like, because the money was coming in for sure, right? He has people to take care of that. Like, it was hard to get him in the booth for something that was just potential. When you're making money in and it's coming in and, you know, you're used to this lifestyle and you got people that you're helping out, that I might have to wait or I might have to change up something of the routine is what scares people. That's why they call it the trap. It scares people. You know what I mean? So when they make it out, that's extremely rare.
So if you're Lil Baby, and I'm not putting this on him, I'm not saying this is what he did, but you switched it from Fat Joe to Lil Baby. I get why, more relevant rapper, the story is newer. So if you're Lil Baby, right, and your music is taking off, you're the shit. You get pulled over by the feds. Mm-hmm. Bro, we got you. You're done. You have a decision to make. Your music career is blossoming. You're going to make more money than you ever made in the drug game. Legally. Feds come to you now. You're going away forever. We got you. But let's say you give us a couple of names. We pretend this thing never happened.
Right.
So what I'm trying to say is when you
those
say
situations depend on the people.
But when you say it's so rare. It's so rare to be in the street life and not end up in jail or in a casket. We got tons of rappers out here that were allegedly in the street life. So were they just that good where they could make that transition? They just never got caught? Or if they did get, you understand what I'm saying?
Yo, it's you know, it's crazy. It's literally as simple as this. Some people have the ability, even though they're in that street life, to see bigger, to want bigger, to really, really want bigger for themselves, and to understand the process that it takes. All the people that you see that made it out were stuck in that trap and realized at some point that if they made this move, it had the potential to do it, and they took the chance on it. That's all it is. It's them taking the chance on it, or somebody taking the chance on them. That's the only way this shit is going to happen. Because if you don't believe in it, if you don't believe in yourself, if somebody doesn't believe in you, or if you don't have something to push, you're just going to stay right where you is, man. That's just the reality of it.
Well, viewing public, I'm not for 2 seconds sitting here and suggesting that Fat Joe is a snitch, nor am I suggesting that Lil Baby is a snitch. I'm just trying to figure this out, right? Again, not a street dude, never been put in that situation before. I'd love to be put in that situation. My music take off, the podcast take off. Give me a hard question like that. Am I blowing up? Am I blowing up? You understand what I'm saying? So I've never been put in that situation, but I think it's a fair question to ask. There's a lot of street rappers out here. Some of them still claim to be active. How does that work? How are you a celebrity and you're still active in the streets? How?
I have no comment for that because I'm not. There's no way to answer that at all without saying something horrible. Not a chance. But
the only way is that they're lying.
In light of the overall topic, as far as like, snitching and choosing or whatever it is, shout out to Bobby Shmurda and Rowdy Rebel. That's where I stand on that.
Well, let's talk about some other niggas in jail.
Wow. that is the segue. That is like segue polo.
Look, man, R. Kelly, your favorite artist. Listen, did you know that his music, did you know his catalog brings him $1.7 million every single year?
So anytime he says something and then moves on immediately, it's because he knows I'm about to say something reckless. But I did not know that it still brought in that little.
So that all right, fair enough. But the reason why
that's not a lot of money.
The reason why I bring that up is because his legal representation is essentially saying he's broke. He has no money. He's paying legal fees for this case, that case. He is literally broke. So he's trying to sell his music catalog. There's a dude who buys up catalogs all the time. It's like his job.
Yeah.
Right. And
that's a business.
Yeah. And apparently they approached him and he said, "It's been offered to me a number of times by his team. And of course I've said no for the obvious reasons. There are incredible songs in that catalog, but why do you
I have morals.
Well, why would you take that kind of risk?" And then another guy said, another unidentified asset buyer told Billboard, "We wouldn't go near it with a 10-foot pole." So basically, R. Kelly's life work.
What if the pole was like 12 feet? Would they go? No, but they probably stay away.
His life's work is worth zero. It's worth nothing. R. Kelly was hoping to sell his catalog to, well, obviously stay afloat, pay off all these R. Kelly's fucked, man. Why doesn't he just, nigga, you did this shit, man. You did it. Just admit it. Move on with your life and start healing.
Yo, the problem, yeah. R. Kelly. This trial that we are going through right now with witnessing with R. Kelly and some of the stories that are being told and some of the things that are being revealed in the beginning days of this trial are, I thought I was able to imagine how horrible it was, and I could not imagine. Did you hear that on, I don't know what day of the trial it was, but somebody gave testimony that this man, in punishment, had a girl wipe feces on her face while he filmed it, and then got mad because he said she didn't look like she was into it on film. So as punishment, he made her have sex with one of his homies. Bro, I thought I could imagine, but I could not even fathom these things. And he needs to sell this as soon as possible, because you want to talk about depreciating value.
Yeah.
I don't even, what is it, like day 4 of the things that I have heard, and this is after watching Surviving R. Kelly. Like
that was oh Lord.
And that was horrible. And now it's getting now because people have to be detailed.
You're on trial. Yeah.
It's man. Oh boy.
Viewing public, especially those fans of R. Kelly.
Sorry. Wow.
especially shout out to the We Love Hip Hop podcast, because you guys were trying to say, hey, we should be able to separate mayhem from the music, what he did from the music. So shout out to you. So I I guess you guys are R. Kelly fans. Then I'm assuming
No,
you guys are fans of
nope,
Kels.
nope. I do
I
not second that.
I could be wrong. I could
I'm
be
not saying.
wrong. What are your thoughts? Leave it in the comments.
This is the part of the podcast where this guy has all the opinions to himself.
Don't forget
Disclaimer.
to like and subscribe, man. Listen, now we've been talking about Ryerson and all the bullshit that they've been associated with.
And mainly the person.
Obviously.
Yep.
But I guess people evolve, things change, we get enlightened, we get woke, third eye and all that. They're changing the name of the school? Is this real?
What do you mean if it's real? Yeah, it's real. Yes, it's
because
real.
when we talked about it, it's like it's never gonna happen. You got to redo all the diplomas and the certificates and it was never gonna happen.
Right. This is something that is obviously there was enough pressure. That's all I can say. Obviously, there was enough pressure because I want you to think about when we spoke about Ryerson, the statue getting pulled down and all of that stuff happening. That was a while ago. So, I mean, if they really felt like that was the reason that they should do it, they would have changed it then. But even that and all the news that was reported after that wasn't enough for them to change the name. So I can only believe that they got some pressure from some important people. Some important people got touched on this one because I don't go back on my statement. I didn't think this was going to happen because the amount of money that this is going to cost, and universities don't like to spend money. They like to take your money. So, the fact that they're going to have to spend a whole bunch of money rebranding a whole bunch of things that they've already printed out and made is great. There should be a cost.
It's so funny because when you said universities don't like to spend, they like to take your money. All that went through my head was gang. just taking money and shit. But this is a beautiful thing.
That all of them except for University of Toronto.
I'm just saying. Listen, do we know what they're going to change the name to? Do we know the direction they're going in?
No, but let's hope that they don't follow after the Washington Redskins, who of course changed their name to the Washington Football Team. So let's hope they don't just become the university. Let's hope not. But in all seriousness, there haven't been any. I haven't found it. I looked. If anybody knows, please leave it in the comments down below. But I couldn't find anything that they're going to change it to. So.
All right. Well,
Bob Marley University is my vote. Just throwing it out there.
It's gonna have to do with Drake. I already know that. What are you?
That was real.
It is. Viewing public, what are your thoughts? You happy about this? What about all the
Six God cafeteria? Sorry, I can't. Right. What about OVO gym? Oh my God, it's coming together.
What about all the Ryerson alumni? I mean, you guys got all this swag, your diplomas, your certificates, whatever you niggas get. Like, are you mad now, or is this now just like an artifact for you?
I want to know if they're gonna. So the campus that I went to at U of T. Once again, I'll say the name of the school. Somebody else also went there that was very famous. His name is Paul Bernardo. Paul Bernardo graduated from U of T, for those who don't know, which means that his picture is hanging on the wall with all the other graduates. However, you would not know that unless you knew, because they have completely scratched the plastic covering over his face to the point where you cannot see. It's like a blur. Like, you have to know it's there. You have to know it's there. Like, you're not gonna. And if nobody's stopping and looking at all the graduates, so it's not like one of those things where you're gonna walk by and see. So maybe people will just scratch off the Ryerson.
I mean, I guess
university. There we go again.
It's definitely cost effective, but
the university
sounds like a movie. Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So we've been wrong once, and we'll be wrong again. Well, I don't know if we were wrong. Like, I'm
pretty sure whatever we're talking about, it was probably you, but we're a team, so
I don't know if we were wrong. I mean, we did get the information from outside sources, and we just speak to it.
Okay.
But apparently, OnlyFans is flip flopping. They're allowing the fornication to.
Oh no, we didn't get that wrong. No, that was true. That was true.
I heard they're allowing the sex.
Yeah, I heard that too. I heard that they did they're doing the moonwalk on their decision.
Yeah.
So I know people heard about them saying they were going to ban and giving the reasons, the banks and that we need to get investments. We're moving in a different direction. It didn't even take a full week before their accountants did the math and realized, oh shit, guys, all of the money that we make is off of this. We made $2 billion in 2020. And I'm pretty sure that I could say 90, maybe more. I don't want to be crazy, but 98% of that was sexually explicit content. That's what made you guys popular. That's why people started going there. Yes, they have celebrities. They do. And celebrities don't do all that crazy stuff. But guess what? So does Instagram.
There you go. You know, it's funny because, wait, do you work for OnlyFans? I know I don't. Like, are you a part of the board or anything like that?
I mean, I have my secret page. I mean, you could search it if you can find it, but it's there. I have a secret page.
I guess what I'm trying to say is we have no inside knowledge of their books. We're on the outside of OnlyFans just like you. But it doesn't take an accounting degree to figure it out. If you cut off this part of the business, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they came to their senses. Makes sense. Makes dollars.
Remember I said it before that somebody on their team, hopefully they had somebody on their team that sat down and did the math of how much money they make separate from all of this content. And if it's like still like, you know, like a 50 mil or something, that's still enough to operate a business. That's a very successful business, as a matter of fact.
I mean, it's an app after all.
Like, yeah, it's still doing its thing. You know what I mean? But clearly, nobody did that. Nobody did that. The guy sitting in the chair right now, just chilling, you know, regular life, regular Joe, thought of something that a corporation that took in $2 billion was unable to think of doing in advance. And it's clear that they didn't do it based on their recant, because if they did, they would keep moving forward.
You know what's funny is when they made the announcement, Tyga instantly came out with a competitor to OnlyFans. Basically said you could fuck all you want on this app, all good. And I seen that.
Damn.
And I'm like, genius, but you just wasted your money because
Tyga.
Another one.
Damn. Now he's got to go drop another single.
But viewing public, what are your thoughts on this? Do you have an OnlyFans? Are you subscribed to OnlyFans? Did this, if you were subbed to OnlyFans and then they banned the F train, would you have canceled your subscriptions? I mean, be real.
Did you get angry and rage cancel? Did you rage cancel?
This
now you're mad.
Yo, this was like when Netflix did that show Dear White People, and all the white people got pissed. They're like, take this show off Netflix or I'm canceling my subscription. It's exactly.
And they made a second season. Yeah.
Exactly. Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Deuce.
Yo, thanks for watching that video, making it all the way to the end. You made it this far, you have to like. Please subscribe and comment on the video as well. Join the conversation.
Absolutely. We finally hit our goal of 500 subscribers. Yes, we are trying to get to 1,000. And we can only do that with your help. You can start by watching that next video. You see that tiny little icon? Click on that icon, rinse and repeat. Deuces.
Deuce.